was that 2007, 8, when we had our last recession or depression or whatever you want to call it, man. The stock market, I think it was 2-3 years later, the value of what people had in their accounts from that point, if they stayed in, their amount tripled in 3 years.
Wow.
Right.
That's
so
crazy.
We can't be stuck in saying we're going to stay out of it, and then 2 or 3 years or 5 years later say, man, damn, I wish. Or, hey, man, how did you become a 100,000 or a millionaire? This and the third. Well, they're going to come back to this and tell you, hey, during this timeline, you know what I did? I found a stock that was $5, $8, $9, $10. I bought 10 shares a week, and then I just let it grow.
All right.
And, you know what I'm saying? You just triple your worth, man.
So all right, to avoid that panic, because of course, like if you just like invest in, like let's say you suggest something just because it interests you and you suggest it to me, that would, like, if I buy that same stock, I would have a bigger panic with it than you would, because that's something you believe in. So would you suggest like getting something that you find true to you, or you really are interested in, or would you say just if you see something low, just get it? Or a little of both, or maybe a little of both. I don't know.
So it's a little of both, man. Like my my premise on how I go about buying stocks is twofold, right? It's companies and things I believe in.
All right.
Like if I love going to Walmart. Hell, a lot of people love going to Walmart, right?
All right.
So if that's my thing, then I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna buy some shares in a Walmart, especially now. You got more people at home, more people shopping, more people spending money. Walmart, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, these places, to save a little extra money. So they're gonna have an uptick, and I believe in Walmart, right? But at the same time, this is another thing that I always, we talked about before, right? I don't have an iPhone, right? And it's not because I don't like Apple products or anything like that. It's just I've had an iPhone, I've had a Samsung. I'm like, all right, cool. I prefer Samsung.
All right.
It's not the popular vote. But mindset, though, is everybody else loves iPhone.
Apple,
that's the popular vote.
All right.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to invest in there, too.
All right.
And it's not, one way or the other, but that's the smart thing, because you're following the trend. And it's not, I don't have to believe in the product wholeheartedly or say, hey, I support this or whatever. But if I'm the 1 out of 10 people I know that don't, well, I want to be invested into it. So these 10 people that are spending $800 to $1,000 a phone, I want to be involved in getting some profit off
of that. Yeah, you're right. Because I actually, I kind of dropped the ball a little bit, because you've known me for years, and as long as you've known me, I've been vegetarian, vegan, etc., whatever that is. But I saw the Beyond Meat. Like on our last podcast, I went to buy some, and it was like, at that time it was like 98. It was 98 a share. Yep. So I went to get it, and it had some funny language I really didn't know nothing about. So I ended up going into Kellogg because I think Morningstar is a part of Kellogg now.
Morningstar.
Yeah, so I end up going into them. So when all this started happening, it actually dropped. It dropped all the way. First it went up. It went up to like 170. And then I was like, damn, I was kicking myself for not getting it when it was like 100. So I was like, damn. So then when this started, it dropped all the way down. I think the lowest I saw was 62. 62 a share.
No, it actually dropped to 48.
It dropped to 48. See, I didn't see it. Good
$48
God.
a share, brother. And then within a month's time, it's at $117.
That's
month in about 2 weeks.
Yes, and I actually dropped the ball on that one because I wasn't. It was like I wasn't for sure with what was going to go on as far as my job. So it's like that was in the back of my mind, but I knew I should have really got into it. So definitely, if it's something you're really interested in and you can't afford it, or you see a window to jump in, definitely get on it, because I dropped the ball on that a little bit. But I did end up getting a couple shares. I did end up getting a few shares where I could have actually doubled or tripled the amount I got if I would have jumped on
There
it
you
back
go.
then. Yeah, so definitely if it's
Yeah,
something you're interested in and you feel it's close to you and you really believe in it, definitely get into it if you can't afford it. I
yeah,
definitely
man.
messed
And
that
that's
one
the
up.
thing, man. I'm not telling anybody. Like people, they listen to people on TV, uh, rich and famous people, or people who have all of this money, and they say, "Oh, don't do this. You shouldn't do this. Maybe the risk, this, that, and third." They're talking about in the context of they have hundreds of thousands of dollars invested into
Exactly.
the market. And so when they
Exactly.
lose 5%, they like, oh shit, we in a recession, we die in the economy.
Mm-hmm.
But for people who don't necessarily have that type of money, right? If you're going in and you're like, man, like you said, you buy a couple of shares, or even back then, because I think you reached out, man, you was like, this thing is dropping. And
Yeah.
I said, man, just, and it was around 60,
Yeah,
it
you
was
was
like
like, keep watching.
$64,
It's gonna go. It's
$65.
gonna keep
I was
dropping.
like,
You
keep
did say
watching it.
that. You did say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And then it dropped down to 48.
That's
Now,
crazy.
if everything was like, let's just say on the up and up, the job situation wasn't an influx, it dropped to 48. You go and you say, man, every time I get paid now
From
going
this date.
forward,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, I'm gonna just go and buy 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 shares a week every 2 weeks. However you get paid, whenever you
Mm-hmm.
got the free money, within a month and a half, if you started at 48, you already doubled. You're probably at 65% profit
Damn. Yeah.
in a month and a half.
A month
And
and a
that's just
half.
from clicking a button 2 or 3 times.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think you don't have to clock in. You're not punching no time clock. You don't have no manager like, yo, what are you doing? You just over here clicking,
Yep.
making your investment, making your purchase of something that you wholeheartedly believe in,
Mm-hmm.
and you get good money. And then just the elaborating on that a little bit with Beyond, especially now you have the news saying, oh, all these meat poultry farms and
Crazy.
factories are closing down because
Yep.
the employees are sick because you got all this stuff. Well, we're going to have a shortage of meat. Well, where are people going to turn to?
Yep. No matter
Plant-based
how
products.
bad they talk about it, they are definitely buying it. Because when this first started, I would go in the store, and all the meat is gone except for the Beyond, the vegan, the plant-based.
Yep.
All that was still there. You go in there now, it's starting it's started to dry up a little bit because people are trying to. People's like, let
Exactly.
me try this, So yeah, that's definitely true. Definitely true. So
Yeah, man. So, just little stuff like that. And again, like you said, man, you got to invest in what you believe in, what you do, man. I mean, people don't look at video gaming like as a investment type of situation or something that they can invest in. But if you on them sticks every day, and especially during this quarantine,
am I?
right?
Jeez
EA
Louise.
Sports, Activision, they out there making money, right? And if you paying $50, $60 for a game, or you got the Game Pass, or you buying coins and tokens, and stuff like that, that's just more money going to them. So if it's something that you love and you 2K, the Madden, this, that, and third, bro, look out
Find a way to get
for
into it.
Activision,
Yeah.
for EA. Get in, buy in, get you some shares, because that's one of the things that's probably never going to go away in our lifetime.
That's
the gaming
true.
situation, it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
The new Xbox is on the way. The
Yeah.
PS5 is on the way.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
you got to take advantage of these situations.
All right, definitely. All right, let's now that's speaking of the now, and that's speaking of the future. Let's get into these mortgages. Now, you had said you wanted to speak a little bit about how you could reconstruct your mortgage loans and credit and things of that nature. Get into that one. What are you referring to basically on that?
Yeah. So basically, right, because the economy is so bad, right, and you got the banks are how they make money is off of interest on loans, mortgages, credit cards, and of the like, right?
All
And
right.
just like anything else, it's a competition between banks, between lending companies, credit cards, etc. Right? So if let's just say you're locked into a 30-year mortgage right now, and you anywhere from 3.5 to 4%,
All right.
30-year mortgage, right? Do the due diligence of calling not only your bank or whoever you have the mortgage with, call the next spec. If you got a mortgage with Bank of America, call Wells Fargo. If you got Wells Fargo, call SRP. So on and so forth. And see who has the better rate. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you can go from a 4% APR on the mortgage if you refinance, and I'm not talking about refinancing to take money out, home equity loan and all that stuff. I'm just talking about a straight refinance going from 4% to 3%. No, go ahead.
So when you refinance, that doesn't like add more money back on to what you got to pay?
No, only if you're doing a refinance and you're taking out the home equity loan.
All right.
So like if you bought a house for $200,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been making payments over the last 10 years. You got 130 left, and now your house is worth $250,000. Now you got the difference between 130 and 250. If you want to, and as some people do it, they take out the equity between the difference. Right. And then they say, hey, I want to refinance, take out this equity because I want to build a swimming pool. I want to build another deck. I want to take out all the cabinets, and they do that. And then they're comfortable with saying, all right, I could afford the additional $200 a month and going for another 30 years.
All right.
Because this is their forever home. They're going to stay in it, but they want to live in it with all the upgrades and all the pretty stuff that we see on TV, on HGTV and stuff.
So basically, basically what you mean is like, all right, let's say, all right, it's 200,000, you pay it down to 130. If you just reconstructing it for a better interest rate, you'll just get a better interest rate on that 130 you have remaining.
Correct.
All right.
Correct. So
all
yeah,
right.
that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
It's just basically, right, you want to go from paying 4% to 3%. It's 1%. But over the years, if you're paying it for 30 years, that makes a major difference. You could save $50,000-$60,000, depending on how much you owe.
All right.
And the length of time. My thing is, whenever I talk about mortgages or people owning homes and it's their forever home, if you start out with a 30-year mortgage, at some point down the line, man, look at refinancing to get not only a better interest rate, but take it down to 15 years.
All right.
Nobody wants to be 60 and still paying a mortgage.
Yes, exactly.
Because you get close to retirement. That money you should be somewhere saving for your retirement, to buy your brand new Cadillac to drive the grocery store on Sundays or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to have the money to live off of when you're older,
when you retire,
and not being working just to live paycheck to paycheck because you still have a mortgage.
Got you.
So you're kind of doing it in twofold, man. And it's just and it's not for everybody, but that's just my thought process, man. If you can go from 30 to 15, depending on when you bought your house, by the time you're 55, or 50, you're done paying with a house. Now that mortgage payment, you can do whatever the hell you want with it now.
Exactly. All right, cool.
So you just basically you're trying to save a little money in the long run on that. And it's the same goes for credit cards, right? If you have outstanding credit card balances, like high amounts, I'd say anything over $10,000, the interest is 29.99% or whatever. Look for another credit card company or another bank that will give you a zero interest loan or balance transfer. And 9 times out of 10, what I've seen is they'll give you 18 months, 0%.
Oh, shit. All right.
To pay that off.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Within 18 months. And then after the 18 months is over, it might say, hey, depending on your credit, it might be a 5% or 13%. But that's still less than the 29% you were paying all along that you like. Yeah, I'm just making a minimum payment I'm paying $10 over. Hell, you're going to be doing that for a lifetime.
Yes. So in the long run, this will basically help you out in the future. Get that off your back. And then,
man.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So we always want to be looking at ways of keeping the money that we earn in and not having so much going out.
Yeah. That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's the train of thought now. Like we got to get off that 20-year-old train of thought. Wait, it's in here now. It's burning up my pocket. I got to get rid of it.
Yeah. You can't be just always doing it for the gram, just so you know what I'm saying. I got this Gucci belt, or I got this, that, and third. Knowing damn well you didn't take $600 out of your account to just go buy it, you probably more than likely put it on the credit card.
Uh-huh.
It's like, I got 8 months to pay this shit off. Or month 10. Now you know.
Yeah, it don't work that way. It don't work that way.